Live from the Slackers Sports Bar Studios, this is In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy Jay.
It's a late nighter thanks to Thursday night football and an ungodly amount of penalties, but never too late, never too soon. It is In the Building with Rudy J and me, Mike T, Mike Taylor, and DJ LG. And hey, what, man, all things considered, and I know a lot of y'all are already negative in here in the chats, and a lot of my tweet feedback is negative. But as bad as it's been for the last couple of weeks for the Dallas clickbaits, as bad as it has been,
even after a win.
Oh yeah, this team would be. Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, okay, let's get in. But the bottom line is they played a shitty team with a rag arm quarterback who won't be there in 2 years, or in the day ball is going to get. Giants suck. Cowboys are banged up. Short week. All that being, yeah, they played like crap, but you don't. That's what happens when you go on the road in the NFL and play 4 days after another game. But as bad as it's been, with guys calling people out in the room, locker room bullshit, cuss rants in the room the last couple of days and last week, as bad as it's been, Rudy, do you not agree that a win is a win when they needed it the most, especially 4 days after another game and on the road against the division rival, even though they suck?
It's a win is a win is a win. I mean, I've watched the Chiefs now play 3 really close games, but the Chiefs get everybody's best shot, so that may not be the best example. But a win is a win is a win for a team that doesn't have really any aspirations to do much. If you're a team that, you're striving towards something, you got a chip on your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
You look a little bit different, and you step on people's throats and you choke them out. The Giants kicked a lot of field goals tonight. The Giants went up and down the field. They just have Daniel Jones, and they can't finish. But you never, in this league, again, we just saw the Texans get mopped by Sam Darnold. So in this league, it's hard to win on Sundays. It's Thursdays, Mondays. You never apologize for a win. So I get it for the people that are like, look, we should look better, but it still is early. You're 500, and you got to win on the road in the division, and now you're 1-0 in the division. So you don't apologize for that.
Nope, especially in the NFL, as hard as it is when you're
It's
good
hard
and
to
you
win.
don't have
It's hard to
all
win.
the bullshit. Absolutely. Ruben Navarro, thank you for the $5 tip. Y'all can tip us if you want to tonight in the super chat. LG will also put a link in the chat to the Buy Me a Coffee website, which you could also tip us through there. So let us hear from the people. It's an In the Building Cowboys post-game edition as your clickbaits in a night that they had to have based on the rest of their schedule here over the next month or so are ugly as hell and get it done. 20-15 is the final. Defense, as Rudy mentioned, bent but never broke, and a lot of that has to do with the Giants not being very good. The Cowboys were banged up a lot tonight. We had a ridiculous amount of penalties that I thought it was funny that Al Michaels kept bitching about all night, which was great. The NFL won't love Al complaining about the refs all night, which is funny. Just a weird game. Didn't have a flow to it. A lot of it was about the calls. But again, man, and I'm not trying to make excuses for shitty play. I mean, I've been as hard on the clickbaits as anybody. But and of course, this is just me. I'm just being an old man because it's never going to change. But this is, every year when the Cowboys play on Thursday, I know they play on the Thanksgiving night, but forget that. That's tradition. Every time I watch the Cowboys play on Thursday night, even when they win, it's just like the NFL does not give two shits about these kids' health. I don't want to hear that anymore.
No,
All they give
no,
a shit
no.
about is money. They don't care at all. You got how many concussions did we have tonight? Still haven't heard what's up with Micah Parsons, who left on a fucking cart. Trayvon
And a
Diggs
shoe off.
Trayvon Diggs could barely walk in the entire second half because he was cramping. But all I'm saying is these Thursday night games lend themselves to this kind of shitty football because these kids are tired and they're banged up, man. It's all you can do to get ready to play in 7 days and 4-day
No,
break. League don't give a shit about
no,
these kids.
no. I mean, no brainer. They don't give a shit. And
No.
you had Neighbors at the end up getting diagnosed with a concussion after he landed
Mm-hmm.
on top of his head with the forearm. Almost had a great catch there to keep that drive alive. But no,
Mm-hmm.
Thursday football historically has been like perfect example. In the NBA playoffs, you get a game on ESPN, you get a game on TNT, and then there's a game on NBA TV. No one cares about the game on NBA TV. To me, Thursday night football is NBA TV. Now, if the Cowboys are playing, like I posted on Facebook, there's a different vibe in the air when the
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys are playing. I witnessed it tonight. I haven't had a Thursday. Look, I've been in Texas Cheer a while. I haven't had a Thursday night like I had tonight
Mm-hmm.
in a very long time. A very long time. It was like I said, that wasn't a holiday, right? So no,
Mm-hmm.
it's a different vibe. But Thursday night football sucks. And
Sure.
it said this game sucked. This looked like two bad teams that somebody had to win.
Yeah, I will say this, and we always try to read body language, which is difficult to do. I think I tweeted something like this in the third quarter, or maybe at the half. I don't remember, but the Cowboys look pissed off to me tonight, but not the pissed off we've seen the last couple of weeks. The what the hell we doing? This is bullshit. Yelling in guys' faces, pissed off. This was we're here to win. We may not be playing well right now. We may not even like each other too much right now. We're having infighting and shit, but we're here to win this game. They had the right anger. They played with the right energy and violence. And I'm giving the excuse of playing on a short week, but they came out tonight ready to win. Now, I don't think they beat most of the teams in the league at this point the way they're playing, but it was a good pissed
Well,
off, if that makes sense. Sometimes families had to have arguments that are healthy, and this looked like a pissed off
no,
team
no,
tonight, all the
no.
right way, all the right reasons.
I don't know a successful team that doesn't have uncomfortable conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a successful business that doesn't have uncomfortable conversations. They had some uncomfortable conversations. We found out what the hell, my email's going off. Walk team. Anyway, but big business, a win is a win, but the team stinks. They're a team that will pick top 10. They screwed the cap and Jerry's horrific GM. This was a bad game with two bad teams. Overshown better than Micah. Overshown is a stud.
Yeah, he
But
showed it tonight.
yeah, no. But back to what we're saying, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give Dakota some props. Dakota, if you walk down the tunnel and you look at the media and you tell the media, y'all jump off if you want to, please. This is the type of performance I expect you to have. 22 or 27, no turnovers, played well. Played really, really well. He did his part. Like that can't help it if they don't have a running game. That's on Jerry and Steven. That's on Jerry and Steven. Dak played like a guy that what you just brought up 2-3 minutes ago that was pissed off. And again, I don't hate Dak Prescott. I just touch him up when he needs to be touched up, and I'll clap him up when he needs to be clapped up, and I'll clap him up today. Dak had a really, really well played. That's the type of game Dak needs. That's who he is. Dink and dunk. Take what they give you. Don't be greedy. Be smart with the football. He played a really good game. I'm not mad at Dak Prescott at all.
You know, two things on Dak. And it's so easy to not go to him after just about every game. I mean, he's the quarterback, no matter what the circumstances are. Tonight, I think he realized we're better than New York. I don't have to be Superman. You know, Micah Parsons said we don't want Superman out here. Dak just played ball. And was and just had that, and again had that right body language. Was, you know, even the long touchdown, the give and go to CD, that CD just torched the shit out of those two Giants. Dak just jogged off the field. He didn't fist pump. He didn't say "F yeah." He just walked.
No, he's pissed. He's pissed off.
It was a business trip.
He's pissed off.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely. And whatever gets you to play better. And isn't it amazing how much different the same guy looks just 4 days later? When you're simply accurate. He was so accurate tonight. You know, again, they're not playing the Ravens. I get that. But I don't think anybody thinks the Saints are going to run away to the championship this year at this point. Dak has not played well in the first 3 games and has not played good at all in the 2 losses. Now, granted, the defense has gotten all the headlines for all the right reasons, but Dak's been mediocre. But tonight, Dak just played ball. He went out there trying to be cute, and he didn't have to pull the game out of his ass. Just go out there and play because New York's not very good. Our defense is holding them out of the end zone. And isn't it amazing how much better a quarterback looks when he simply puts the ball on the number, which he did tonight?
Yeah, he did put the ball on the number. And the other thing about it, Mike, is this. Coming into this game, everybody that's a Cowboy fan, you came in with the proper fear of they're going to run all over us. Singletary's had 3 solid games, especially if you're a fantasy player. I'm not saying he's Derrick Henry or Christian McCaffrey. He's had 3 solid games. And the way the Cowboys looked the last 2 weeks, you felt like that trend was going to continue. And it didn't. And I didn't know. I really felt like they were going to come out because of what happened for whatever reason.
Yeah.
With 2 straight losses looking bad, McCarthy told his veterans, hey, I'm going to give y'all an option. If y'all don't want to show up, you don't have to show up. I'm going to give y'all a veteran option day. Bunch of guys don't show up, and a bunch of guys were pissed off about it. So I didn't know how that was going to work. It could work one of 2 ways. It could have went really bad, or you could get what happened tonight, and you got a bunch of guys pissed off and everybody willing to do their jobs. And that's what happened. But the other thing, Mike, Dak has beat this team 14 out of his last 15 times now. So we shouldn't really be shocked that he beat the Giants, whether he's got a running game, no running game, defense, no defense. He literally, you remember when Eli smartass signed Jerry's World?
He signed the mirror in the locker room.
Yeah. Dak Prescott could literally sign MetLife with his piss. You know what I mean? You know how we spell our name as men when we take a piss. We spell our name. If you have to take a long piss, you spell Rudy Johnson. Dak Prescott could put Dakota. Prescott. In piss in MetLife Stadium. He
Ozzy
owns
Osbourne the wall.
Aaron Rodgers was like, remember Aaron Rodgers looked to the Bears fans and said, I own you.
Yeah.
And we thought it was cool. Like, oh, Aaron Rodgers.
That's gross, LG. Yeah.
Dak can do that to the Giants. Write his name in piss alongside MetLife Stadium.
Shout out Robert Godina, 1971. Great show, fellas. What's your prediction at Steelers on Sunday night? Oh, jeez. Just want to try to get over that. Just happy to get this win and get everybody home.
Easy, buddy.
Let me see what the health condition is. Hell, the
Right.
Steelers have to play the Colts Sunday. Ask me
Mm.
on that's a question best asked on Monday. I got to see the condition of this team. Pittsburgh's playing good ball. They're off to a 3-0 start, and this is a road game. The Cowboys play
Right.
next 10 days. Right now, I'd have to think the Cowboys would be an underdog, clearly. Adrian Robles, $2. How are there so many Steeler fans in Texas? Well, the same way there's so many transplants in Texas. 25% of our state's not even from here. Hell, 10% ain't even from the country. We got a lot of transplants. So we got a lot of people live in the metro sex from the north. Eric Bishop, my man, with a $99.99 input tonight. Thank you, EB, as always. The game was not
What'd he
great,
say?
but I blame that on crappy Thursday night, just like I said. Dak, to me, looked good. CD made good catches. Team MVP was the MVP. This, unfortunately, just in Jerry's eyes, buys him a lot more time. Yeah, it did certainly hold off some firings tonight or some big conversations. Because I felt like if they don't win this game against that team, then all of a sudden it's a countdown to the firing of Mike Zimmer or Mike McCarthy or both of them. Tonight, had the Cowboys lost, boy, we would have been on here. This whole show would have had a completely different tone, and it would have been when does McCarthy get let go? That's what it would have been.
Well, in my experience in this business, when the Cowboys lose, shows are better. If the Cowboys had lost, it'd be 1,000 people in here. But they
I know.
That's
how we roll, man.
Yeah, it's because everybody's a coach, everybody's a GM.
Oh, they
Look,
won. I'm gonna go see everybody's going to bed because they won.
They won. They won. It's like, oh, there's nothing else to talk about. But
Yeah.
look, one thing I can say,
Mm-hmm.
that gosh damn Longhorn is a dog. Last week I just said they don't have no dogs. That Longhorn, who tore his ACL last year, Overshown is a dog, Mike. I didn't think they had any. I didn't think they had any dogs.
That's a Central Texan there. I'm not shocked.
Overshown said, Rudy Jay, hold my beer. He's a dog. He might be, their second best defender. I'm not big on Micah, but he's still the best defensive player on the team, even though he's a douchebag.
Well,
but Overshown's a dog. I like
you mentioned Parsons. Remember, I'm not calling him by his first name anymore because he doesn't have first name greatness yet. He didn't do shit. The first time he actually made contact with somebody, it was when Mozzie Smith fell into him and I thought concussed him. He was banged up all game because of that stinger in the first half. We'll see what happened with what's going on with the foot or the leg as they carted him off tonight, as Rudy mentioned, without a sock on. He didn't do anything in this game. He did nothing. But, of course,
he's playing one of the best left tackles in the game, though. He's playing one of the best left tackles in football.
You want to be the highest paid defender that's ever lived. You got to do something on one of the best left tackles in the game.
But that tackle for a loss was huge.
Score some points. Okay.
Cool. The tackle for a loss in the fourth quarter, Herb Street said at the time, he was like, hey, that was and it was also clutch.
Hell, I thought his friend Malik Hooker had a better game. Micah Parsons' good buddy Malik Hooker, who called his ass out in the summer and apparently got pissed off last week, which we can get into in a little while.
Kendricks is a dog, too. I think Kendricks is a dog, too.
No, for sure. He had
he's
no
a dog.
question. They weren't awesome tonight, but they played their asses off. And dare I say, made up for the zero production night, sans the one tackle by the guy that wears number 11. Tank Lawrence got beat up tonight. I need to see what's up with him. He didn't finish the game. They were looking at like the underneath his foot. I thought it was a freaking Achilles, or maybe one of those nasty Liz Frank fractures, that mess up dudes in the toe. And I think they were looking at the sideline reporter was saying that they were looking at the arch of his foot. So
that's not good, though. That's not good.
That could be
whatever
something bad.
It is. That's not good.
No, it could be something bad. So they're beaten up, they're sloppy. I don't think guys like each other right now. They're having a bunch of it's a family fight. And maybe it works
Wait.
out. Maybe this family fighting's good. I don't know. We'll see. Why are you TOing me?
I'm trying to digest that. I'm trying to digest the part where you said guys don't like each other right now. I'm trying to digest that. I'm trying to figure out if that's guys don't like each other or guys are finally turning the corner into making sure we're holding each other accountable. Like, you know what? I've had enough, right? I've had enough. Mike is supposed to be the leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if he's not, if he's going to be the only guy holding everybody accountable, who's supposed to hold him accountable? Who's the guy that steps up? Mario Chalmers telling LeBron in the huddle, "Stop acting like a bitch. You guard Paul George." Who's the guy that's supposed to step up and tell, Patrick Mahomes telling Tyreek Hill, "Get your fucking head up. We're gonna go win this game."
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference in not liking each other and finally saying, "You know what? The gloves are off. Let's just be fully honest with each other and let's just hold each other accountable." But I don't know. You may be right, Mike. Maybe there is some like serious hate, but you can not like a guy and win.
Sure. Absolutely. No, I mean, there's no doubt about that. So it got out this morning or last night that last week before the Baltimore game, Malik Hooker threw a fucking fit in the room.
Right.
As did Eric Kendricks. This is the same Malik Hooker who called out Parsons for talking too much crap about people on his podcast and wondered if Micah Parsons cared more about the podcast than ball. And then then of course Parsons clapped back or whatever. So apparently Jordan Lewis, of all people, who's turned into a pretty solid player for the Cowboys, and dare I say has a place on their coaching staff. They love him. So Jordan Lewis and Hooker and Kendricks, the new guy, apparently got pissed last week because every week McCarthy apparently gives longer veteran players an opt-out day where you don't have to practice on Friday. I think it's Friday.
Whatever day.
And coming off the blowout loss to the Saints, apparently a bunch of veterans went ahead and took the opt-out day. Rudy mentioned this about 5 minutes ago. But a bunch of the veterans went ahead and took the opt-out day last Friday. And Jordan Lewis is like, WTF. No one should be taking the opt-out this week after we got our asses beat so bad by the Saints. And apparently there was a lot of shit that was thrown around, in the room. Jordan Lewis.
Good for Jordan Lewis and Malik Hooker and Kendricks. Good for you guys.
Sure. Jordan Lewis.
Whether they're right or wrong. Whether they're right or wrong, Mike. Whether they're right or wrong.
I love it. Yeah.
They could be wrong. Right? Like, it's not about that. It's just about like, yo, let's go. I don't care who's right or wrong. Like, yo, what's the deal? What are we doing here?
Right. Parsons is busy, going on rants about how other guys need to quit being Superman. And that's one thing because he talks a lot. But Hooker's not a guy, or Jordan Lewis is not a guy who stands in the room and dog cusses folks. And certainly doesn't take that to the press. So it's like, well, if a guy like Jordan Lewis, who doesn't talk a lot publicly, does this, maybe the guy he knows what he's talking about. So Lewis got pissed off and tore a bunch of people apart and told the Dallas Morning News yesterday, quote, "At the end of the day, this shit is about stopping people. We got to be credible and fucking accountable every single play. That's 60 minutes of football. It doesn't matter who we play. We got to go out there and be detailed in the plays. No matter who we play in this NFL, if we're not doing that shit, nobody can beat us. But right now, we are not detailed, and that's bullshit." End of quote. We're not detailed. That's a shot at coaching. Or it's a shot at guys not prepping. He's still pissed off that people took the opt-out on Friday. Because what happened on Sunday? They got whooped again by Baltimore. So when I say they don't like each other right now, that doesn't mean they won't like each other in a month. But I think you got some dudes that are not talking right now. Or if they are,
that's fine.
But that's okay. Again, there's good fights and bad fights. So I brought that up to add to your point earlier. And maybe this is good. Again, like on a guy like Lewis steps up that we don't hear from, maybe he's got a point, like the quiet guy, when the quiet guy gets pissed, whoa, you listen to him. All right.
Eric, Eric Bishop, 1999,
What's up,
made a
E?
point to watch Parsons. He seemed to step off, causing real havoc. Granted, you want to get paid like a big guy. You got to make big guy plays. Parsons seemed to step off being the star. Big business, $5. The problem is we're trying to play Luke Kuechly at defensive end. Micah is not a DN. He's a generational linebacker. Micah is a middle linebacker. That's fair, but
What have we
no, you've
told
been
y'all
saying
about
that.
this, though? What have we
Oh, you've been
told y'all
saying
about?
that.
The reason why Parsons does not play linebacker full time is because he won't make as much money next summer when he's a free agent. And I know y'all don't like to hear that, and that makes the Cowboys seem like they care more about that than winning. And it makes Parsons look like he cares more about his contract than winning or what's best for him. You know, I said this during the night that the Packers playoff postgame show that we did at the Ringer. You know, I was saying that night, you know, we got to sit Parsons down and say, "Hey man, we need you to switch to linebacker next year. You know, maybe you don't get 14 sacks, maybe you just get 8 sacks, but you're going to lead the fucking league in tackles. Hell, you may break the tackles record. You're so good at linebacker." But the comeback to that is Parsons doesn't want to do it. Parsons wants to play edge too because the linebackers make real good money in the league. Edge rushers make generational wealth, like Rudy likes to reference. That's why he won't switch. About money.
Right. The problem is he, like, on most weeks he can get away with it. But when you start talking about January, late December, January, you start talking about facing the Lions, you start talking about facing the 49ers, etc. You start talking about facing the better teams in the NFC in the playoffs, the better come the left tackles. If you can't handle the Giants left tackle, you're not going to be able to handle the other big boys come January after you've been beat down for 17 weeks. That's the problem. Like, the thing is, we see him, like the Cowboys see him, Jerry sees him. He's at 13, 14 sacks. What do you mean? It doesn't matter if he ain't worth the shit come January because he's been beat up so much by these big boys. So he can play. He is a DN sparingly. But if you're going to leave him there and not load manage him, which I think they're doing a better job of load managing him. And when you look tonight, there was a few times on third down where he was middle linebacker. So if they're going to load manage him the way they did tonight or the way they have been the first 4 games, I think come January he will be fine. But no, you can't line him up like he's freaking Bruce Smith or Michael Strahan for 17 weeks. He almost died tonight. He got took off on a cart.
Yeah, he's beaten up already. The calendar is his biggest enemy in the first 3 years of his career.
But I think he's a DN. I'm not gonna go as far as say he's not a defensive end. I think he is.
I think he is, but he would be better if he were a linebacker. He's a good edge rusher. He's a brilliant linebacker.
So you think he's Roquan? You think he's Roquan Smith? You think he's Warner? You think he could be Warner from the 49ers? He's not that.
Yeah.
He's not that. He's not Warner. Now that, but again, I just compared him probably to the best linebacker in the game. That ain't fair.
We don't know because he doesn't play full-time linebacker. You know, I just want the guy to be able to walk. I just want him to be healthy in January. Of course, I don't think it's going to matter this year because the Cowboys aren't playing any January games based on what I've seen. Whatever they do with him, I just need the dude to be upright and playing okay in the last part of the season when it matters the most, not right now. Look how banged up he got just tonight, man. Unfortunate. This is a win. It's hard fart and it comes at a cost, but it was much needed. And the Cowboys got it. Was it 20-15 the final?
Now that I've given them their props, now let me nitpick. Obviously, we could talk about the defense, big business, another $2. Thanks, you, big business. Good defensive end, generational linebacker. Fair. Mike, I'm not crazy about this offense either. Like, okay, yeah, you got CeeDee Lamb, but I feel like the Ravens and the Saints were able to say, we're gonna send everything we have at CeeDee Lamb, and if somebody else beats us, we'll tip our cap. We'll tip our cap. I don't look. We've talked a lot about the defense, but I'm just not crazy about the talent on the offensive side of the ball. Dak being one, no running game two. And okay, yeah, Jake, again, you playing the Giants, Jake Ferguson. Again, this is my nitpicking portion. I've given them their props. Now I'm nitpicking, being the analyst. Okay, Jake Ferguson catches 7-8 passes. Because if Daniel Jones can score, what, they had 15? So if he can score 2 touchdowns, what the hell does it matter Jake Ferguson had 8-9 catches? It doesn't matter. Like, no one on this offense, nobody on this, including Dak, nobody on this offense scares me outside of 88.
Dak Prescott sucks.
Like, you think look, I mean, we'll talk about Pittsburgh on next Thursday. But if you think Pittsburgh is worried about Jake Ferguson and Cooks and Dowdle and Zeke, you're crazy. They're not.
They're not.
They're coached too well. Every time Dak looks toward 88, there'll be 3 black jerseys in the vicinity, and they'll say, "You're gonna have to go to them other middle of the road NFL players if you want to beat us tonight." And that's what the Ravens did, and that's what the Saints did, and the Cowboys had zero answer for it. We've spent a lot of time talking about the defense, but this offense is not talented at all. Good. They're good. They're NFL players. But, like, do I walk into the meeting room as a defensive coordinator and be like, I'm not losing sleep over Jake Ferguson and Brandon Cooks.
Deuce Vaughn's coming to town. We got to strap it on this week, boys.
I walk in there and I say, you're going to be here on CD. You're going to be here on CD. And you're going to be here. So this is what CD sees when he leaves. You know what I mean? And that's it. And then
I got that.
And that, I don't get it.
I like it.
I'm not crazy about this offense, Mike. And this is me I'm nitpicking.
Prop comedy.
I'm nitpicking.
Nitpicking. No, you don't. It's no. I said before the season started, this is going to wind up being the worst running back core they've ever had in the history of the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
So you ain't nitpicking to me. It's the worst It's the worst collection of running backs I believe the organization has ever had, collectively. With washed Zeke, who's only here because Jerry likes him. Rico Dowdle, who has been in the league 5 years and is no more than a change of pace guy. That's your starter. Deuce Vaughn, who's only there because his pops is on the scouting department. What are we doing, man? We're doing clickbait shit. This is what the Cowboys do. All right, it is in the building. Thank you to $2 from Luis Flores a minute ago. My money's on the Steelers. Well, I mean, you can bet way more than $2 on the Steelers if you want to at this point. I mean, right now it's probably a 6-point spread. Let's see what the Steelers do Sunday, and let's see
who do they play.
The Colts. Let's see the shape that the Cowboys are in physically, too, here in a week. We don't know what's up with Tank or Parsons. All right, the show's brought to you in part by Ribaldo Realty Group, the official real estate agent of In the Building, Ribaldo Realty. I've bought and sold 3 houses in my time. The agent is extremely important, in that endeavor. And our guys, Jay, hit him up if you are in the market for an agent, 210-887-1081. Or email the man at jribaldo@kw.com. It's in the building. I see you've got some Colonel Taylor there, sir. That's pretty good drinking hooch right there. Is that what you got rolling tonight?
Yeah, it's a Cowboy game, so you pull out the heavy hitters. You pull out the heavy hitters. I left the other bottle because LG and I did a members only this morning. The other bottle that AD gave for the crew, I bought this one. I've had this for like a couple months. I just haven't finished it. But the other bottle AD gave us, it's at the Slacker Studio, Casa de LG. We got to try that soon.
That's the kind of whiskey that Rudy's got. That's what you drink when you buy a house, or you close.
I like that. I like it. Yeah, this is a great closing day gift, Jay Ribaldo. So when
Get
you
up,
get
Jay.
somebody, one of your clients to close, go by and get them some E.H. Taylor.
Cowboys win tonight. Ugly, but it wins a win, especially on a short week on the road against a shitty Giants team that I thought was going to be so much better by now. I thought Daniel Jones was going to be better than this. My God. But again, we ain't here to talk about the Giants. We're here to just be thankful that these Cowboys, i.e. the clickbaits, are flying home tonight 2-2. And as Kirk Herbstreit mentioned, it seems silly because it's only a one-game difference, but 1-3, so much worse than 2-2, just mentally, just for the team's psyche, because now you've lost a division game to a team you think you're better than, and now they have a game in hand in the standings, and it's just you're last place in the division. You don't win this game tonight.
Well, this is the problem, Mike. This is the problem. Just looking at the chat, I'm just going off the chat. You got to be Dak mentally strong to block out all the bullshit they're about to hear over the next few days.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's happy.
Nope.
Like, nobody in the chat is happy with this win. Like, you maybe got two guys that are happy with the win. The rest are like, yo, we still suck. So if you're not, look, you can say what you want about Dak. Like, perfect example. What's his name? Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence would be fried in Dallas. He's playing like dog shit. And he's in Jacksonville. They can't even sell out that stadium. Trevor Lawrence having to deal with what Dak deals with every day, he would shrivel up like you just got out the pool. So say what you want about Dak. He handles all the scrutiny well. But everybody on this team ain't like Dak. And I don't think when they get I don't think they know what they're in for when they get off the plane tomorrow morning.
They're probably flying home happy. Maybe.
They're going to be happy until they get off the plane and realize the Fort Worth Telegram and Dallas Star and 105.3 The Fan and Stephen A. all still saying they suck.
And in the building. Don't forget in the building.
And in the building. Like, oh, we still suck?
Yeah.
We just won on the road. Why y'all saying we suck?
Right.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I got people in my Twitter feed saying that while they don't want to believe me about Parsons not switching over money, it's hard to dismiss anything because we talking about them Cowboys,
Hey, Twitter world.
You were spot on last night's show when you were talking about guys sweating money. Because, it took forever to get Dak his money. Took forever to get CD his money, which has proven to be a stupid idea by ownership and management. You wind up giving Dak and CD every cent that they wanted the week before the season starts. Why the hell didn't you just do this in March to avoid all the drama? Because you love the drama, even if it comes at the expense of winning or the feelings or the way your guys feel. And so if they're going to shit on CD and they're going to make Dak wait to the midnight hour, what are they going to do to little old me if I'm Cavante Turpin or if I'm Rico Dowdle? Everyone's
Mike, if you're Stephon Gilmore and you're not even here.
Right. Can I point out that I don't like what was the third string left corner they had to play tonight? Because Kalen Carson, as shitty as he was last week, he got hurt and his backup played tonight. Was it Brooks or Brutch or I don't remember his name. Oh God. Yeah. They need Deron Bland back bad. I think he's getting a little bit closer.
Well, where's Dalvin Cook? Where's Dalvin Cook, Mike?
Well, again, I've got two theories on that. One, your theory that he's out of shape is maybe true. My theory is Jerry does not want to make himself look bad by promoting Dalvin Cook because then all that shit about, well, we don't need nobody else. It ain't a personnel problem. Jerry does not like to look wrong, which is ironic because the whole world thinks he's wrong every day. And promoting Cook makes it look like the general manager got it wrong on the opening day running back core because we got to play Deuce Vaughn because his dad's a good guy and he helps us scout. We got to play Zeke Elliott because we're good buddies, and he knows where bodies are buried. You tell me that whatever Dalvin Cook's doing on the practice team it's not better than what Zeke Elliott's giving you. There's no way there's no way Zeke's a better option than Dalvin Cook right now. There's no way.
He has to be. Dalvin must be looking like Faison Love because I can't understand how he's not playing just yet. But this is the only problem, Mike. Like, are we comfortable? Are you comfortable with a game plan that says at the top of the sheet, Dak has to bring us home? Because right now, like, they threw the ball, even though he only threw it, 27, 28 times?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably 5 more passes than they would like. Like, I don't think you want to go into this season, especially if I'm Mike McCarthy and my job's on the line. And he can't say this out loud, but when he's pillow talk, it ain't pillow talk when it's your wife. But when he lays down with his wife at night, he's having to have that conversation with her like, hey, honey, start preparing the kids that we may not be here come after Christmas. Because I've put my job in the hands of the middle of a road quarterback. That's not what he wants to do. I used to interview him every Friday. Mm-hmm. All he talked about was wanting to be able to run the ball. He's like, we got to come into the stadium and everybody, quote, not paraphrasing, we got to come into the stadium and know that when everybody in the stadium knows we're going to run the ball, including the other team, and we still got to run it. You don't have that option this year, even when Dalvin Cook gets there. So your job and your family's hands are in Dak Prescott's lap.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say he's too excited about that, but that's the way he has to coach it because that's the best option for this average team.
It's no way to live when you have no contract beyond the year. It's awful. All right. We have updates on Micah Parsons and Tank Lawrence from the Cowboys locker room.
What's the deal?
But first, a minute here for Texas Cheer Liquor. That's called the Tease. I bet you bought that Colonel T at Texas Cheer Liquor, did you not?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you are Rudy J or not, you too could have a big sweet box of that Colonel Taylor right there and get it for 5% off at all Texas Cheers in the area, along with everything else they have. Any order you go get it at Texas Cheer Liquor, 5% off when you mention in the building. You have to say the words in the building and get your 5% off whatever you buy. They also have some additional September offers that are lasting until the end of the month, which is another week or so. Happy Dad 12-pack cans of the tea, $11.99. Zing Zang 4-packs on sale for just $13.99, or you can get 2 for the price of 1.5. So you can get 2 4-packs of Zing Zang for $19.99. Or you can get Gray Whale Gin, two 4-packs. 2 4-packs. Gray Whale Gin, baby. Cheapest in town, $28.99 at Texas Cheer Liquor. Eric Bishop with another $9.99. FYI, John Machota qualified Parsons' injury as his ankle and told Dak, quote, I'm good. True.
I got it.
Let me get to the updates. Hang on, hold that thought. Tank Lewin, so Micah says x-rays were negative, but he is, even though he says he's good, he's still going to have an MRI tomorrow when they get home. And he's going to, quote, try to play in the Steelers game. So it sounds like a knee.
Dude, it's Thursday, bro.
Yeah.
You don't got to talk about next Sunday yet.
Yeah. So Tank Lawrence says he's in pain, but he's going to be fine. And you're right.
That's what football players do.
I know. And that's what Parsons told Dak, I'm fine. I'll be fine. That's what football players do, you know. So let's see what the docs say after they take all the pictures tomorrow. All right. So Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store in the building, 7 locations, 6 in San Antonio, 1 up in Bernie. Get your discount. 5% off, say, in the building. Yes, sir.
I just want to give a quick shout out to two members, not just subscribers, members. Stephen Tejeda and his wife Amanda Tejeda drove all the way from the South Side to Texas Sheer Liquor number 1 to say what's up. Told me to tell Mike and LG what's up. Bought the Ezra Brooks
Appreciate
big boy
it very
bottle.
much.
Yeah, bought the big boy bottle of Ezra Brooks for $34.99.
Yep.
And just wanted to say what's up to them. Appreciate them making that long drive from the South Side all the way to Petrenko past 211 to take advantage of our deals, because advertising within the building works. You get people driving from the South Side to buy bourbon. So shout out to Steven and Amanda, the newlyweds. They just got married.
Very cool.
Shout out to them. Appreciate y'all.
Major shout out. Major appreciation. A lot of people agreeing with me on the Thursday night thing. You know, it's sloppy
Thursday
play.
Sucks. It sucks.
Guys are cramping. They're not as energetic. Shit ton of penalties. Shit ton of little injuries. A calf muscle for Trayvon Diggs. That's because he just played 3 freaking nights ago. Of course he's cramping up. Playing
a calf muscle for Trayvon Diggs is because he likes sleeping around with Instagram people. Trayvon Diggs is not focused. He's paid.
Only on In the Building.
Focused.
Only on In the Building we hear that you get muscle cramps from sleeping around with Instagram models.
Trayvon Diggs is worried about his hair.
And all that smashing.
His brother's clothes. Trayvon Diggs, and you know what? I have no problem with it. If I get $100 million, I'm shutting shit down too. And I'm going to go live my life. Trayvon Diggs he's one of those dudes. Like, he's that dude that spends more time worried about who's going to braid his hair than in the playbook.
He's a bit of a DQ.
What's that?
Drama queen.
Yeah, I really don't have no time for Trayvon Diggs. Not because of his women. I don't give a shit about that. It's just I know it when I see it. I know when I see the guy that lays his outfit out at the foot of the bed, make sure his hair, like, yo, you coming by Saturday? I got a big game tomorrow, man. Make sure my hair is on point. His brother wears skirts, kilts. And look, it's cool.
Stephon Diggs wears kilts around the city of Houston.
He's a kilt guy. And that's cool.
He's a guy with a shit ton of money and overthinking things.
He's a shit ton of money. First guy with the Tesla truck, which I like the Tesla truck. But I know the guy that's more worried about the bullshit. Trayvon Diggs if you give me $100 million, I'm going to be worried about the bullshit too. So I can spot it. Trayvon Diggs is not a dog.
Okay.
He's a Jerry Jones dude. Like, yo, he's
it's
flashy.
Right in with the Cowboys then.
Yeah, he sells a lot of jerseys. He's fast. He got the towel. He looks cool out there. He ain't no dog. He ain't no Darryl Green. He ain't no Darren Woodson. He ain't no Dion. He just looks like those guys. I don't have no time for Trayvon Diggs. None. He had 12 interceptions and he got 12 interceptions because of bad throws and a good defense, and the defense that was getting a lot of pressure, and he got $100 million. Trayvon Diggs ain't no dog. Stephon Gilmore. Give me Stephon Gilmore every day of the week at 78 years old over Trayvon Diggs, diva ass.
I do like the towel. Dion made the towel. Dion made the towel look cool. He looks fly.
He looks great. He looks
love
great.
The Dion look.
He looks great. I love him. He looks great. I'd have some E.H. Taylor with him, but I don't want him as my cornerstone cornerback.
You think he's a little got a little too much air under the legs? Is that what you're saying?
He's James Harden.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. There you go. That's a good analogy. Now I know what you mean. Speaking of haircuts, I mean, whatever Diggs is doing to his hair these days is not as strange as what CD Lamb's rolling out, as good as CD is. I once bought pot.
What?
In Montego Bay, Jamaica. I once bought pot from a voodoo witch doctor in Montego Bay, Jamaica on my birthday, 1993.
Okay.
The last time I saw a man that literally had trinkets in his hair. CD has
you seen those?
decorations in the hair.
He looks like Serena and Venus.
He looks like Captain Jack Sparrow, man. Can't you just picture him in a pirate's outfit? But he's kicking ass tonight. And it was good. He got pissed last week. He threw a tantrum. He apologized. He owned it. He didn't do like other guys, try to make excuses and act like y'all were taking him out of context. He stood up.
You're right
and
on
said,
that.
Sorry.
You're right on that. You're right on that.
I fucked up. That was my bad. I'm better than that, and you'll see. And tonight he has the badass catch in which he just completely just bread and butters those two giant defenders and just jogs to the house. And then it promptly gets a taunting penalty. And I had no problem with the taunting penalty.
Did you like that?
You know why?
I like it because
how
with that?
Pissed off. In that scenario, because of what they've done the last 2 weeks, they played angry tonight. Sometimes there's good trouble and there's bad trouble. And I thought that was good. That was good trouble tonight. He had a brashness to him tonight. He was pissed. And CD didn't celebrate shit. Just like our chatters are like, yeah, they still suck. The Cowboys think that too. And maybe that's a good thing. I didn't see a bunch of grab ass and jumping up and down and high-fiving. I didn't see guys ready to raise a September championship banner like we always usually see after wins. They're not happy, and that's a good thing.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. I don't remember who it was for the Ravens. The video went viral. He's on the plane, and he's videotaping Lamar Jackson. And after the Cowboy game, he's like, how you feel, Lamar? Blah, 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 woo, woo. You just beat the Cowboys. Lamar's like, hey, it was a team victory, but. And Lamar looked at him straight face. He wasn't laughing. He wasn't joking. He said, I don't think you should be on live right now. He was like, we finally got a win. We got more work to do. I don't think we need to be going live right now. I like that attitude. I like Dak's attitude. I like CD's attitude. And Eric said it. Eric Bishop said it. CD backs his talk up. CD backed it up tonight. Like, no, we don't really have anything to celebrate. Yep. And I hate that we've made sports like that because it is a kid's game.
Yep.
And you should be having some fun. But at the same time, like, people's days are decided on this. Like, you're going to get the best work in America tomorrow because it's America's team won. Friday, this is going to be the most productive Friday in American history tomorrow because the Cowboys won. People are going to go to work like, yeah.
One exception is me. I'm not going to have any energy in school.
Ready to work. People are going to be ready to work tomorrow, man. This shit matters. Dude. This shit matters.
Dude, I on purpose scheduled a bunch of tests tomorrow. We're just going to take tests while I sleep in the chair all day at school. I'm going to be tired with the dry gas tonight, or tomorrow rather. All right.
Yo, go ahead.
Frequent the official liquor store of our show. Or if you decide to go out and do your drinking in public, maybe you go watch that Cowboys-Steelers game here in 10 days. Maybe you get some of this sweet Taylor from behind the bar at any one of the 5 Slackers locations in and around San Antonio. The official studio sponsor and the official sport bar in the building is Slackers Sports and Drinks and Games. 5 locations all over the city. St. Mary's, Naco, Thousand Oaks, 281. You got the North Star Mall location and the Med Center. Slackers.
I got a bone to pick with Slackers.
Well, they are a major sponsor, so distance from whatever Rudy's about to say. Mike Taylor's opinions do not necessarily reflect those of Rudy Johnson.
I got beef with Frank.
I
got beef with Frank. And
is he a Steelers fan? Okay.
No, he's actually a diehard Cowboy fan. So we went out to Slackers Nacogdoches this past Sunday to watch the Cowboy game.
Right now, I'm nervous. Okay, yes, sir.
To fear Frank never shows up.
Oh, he didn't come out. Oh, yeah.
No. But then today, he's at Nacogdoches slinging turkey legs and on the grill.
I want a turkey.
Yeah, he's on the grill, giving away grilled turkey legs and shit. I'm like, yo, he shared our video to all the slackers and to his page and everything. Like,
That's
oh,
good.
yo, and the builder's in the building. I appreciate him. All right, well, if you appreciate us, come out there when we're there and sling some turkey legs. Don't sling turkey legs when we can't make it out.
Yeah,
What the hell, Frank? I said it, Frank.
I want turkey. How about for
You
the
want
Steelers
turkey?
game? I want a turkey leg for the Steelers game.
Well, one of the slackers locations, it's the North Star.
Mm-hmm.
It's the North Star location. The North Star location, we might be able to do a bit.
Do post game?
Because if I'm not, and no, what I'm saying, I'm almost positive the North Star location, I'll get confirmation, is the Steelers meetup.
Mm-hmm.
We need to go in there.
Yeah.
Let's go in there and raise hell.
That'd be cool. That might be cool.
Now,
Eric Bishop.
we might get our ass kicked, but still.
Screw him. $9.99 from Eric Bishop. Don't know if you remember the movie with Cameron Diaz, Bad Teacher. She 100% came in hungover, rolled out the TV, and slept at the desk. Roll that AV tray out tomorrow if you need to. Oh, yeah, we're going to be YouTube clipping. Testing YouTube, man. Absolutely. I'm going to be tired as hell. Rocky Lopez, $4.20. $4.20. $4.20. Oh, you a phone call, Rocky. It's coming. I've been busy, man. I apologize. In the effing building. All right, show also brought to you in part by the law office of Rolando Kell. We'll save the punches for the end. Would you like to punch anybody tonight, sir, on this great Cowboy victory night?
I want to punch Kirk Herbstreit.
Okay. ¿Por qué?
When Charles Barkley goes and does college basketball for the tournament, I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same. Herbstreit sucks for NFL.
It just doesn't sound right, does it?
It doesn't. He sucks.
He's fine.
He sucks.
He's doing what he does from college games, but it's just weird to have him calling a pro game with Al Michaels. I have not gotten used to that yet, and it's
like
been going on for 2 years.
He hates. It's so fake. And look, Kirk, I would take the bag too. I would take the money too.
He got the bag.
He hates NIL. He hates the portal. He hates the pros. He hates anybody besides himself getting paid.
Fuck you, pay me.
I have no time for Kirk Herbstreit.
You know, you can tell he's a college guy because pretty much everybody that he focuses on, he always has to tell us where the guy went to school. He does it every time.
Mike. So it's not just me. Yes.
You can't get the college out of him. Yeah. That's not easy to prepare and do it. I will give him these props. I'm with you on that. But I'll give him his props because it ain't easy to do to prep for an NFL game and then do the college game of the week 2 days later. That's not easy, man. Because he has to know the league inside and out, just like he has to know college football inside and out. But I agree, it's still very weird having Herbie calling the Cowboys with Al Michaels. You know, just like I'll say this too, it would be weird if I heard Al Michaels doing a TCU Baylor game on FS1. That would be weird too.
Right. You know? If Greg Olsen, all of a sudden Greg Olsen's doing Georgia UT.
Yeah, that would be weird.
You be like, what? You be like, what?
Weird. Yeah, super weird. But yeah, Herbie he can't focus on anybody without letting us all know that he went to Bama or back in his days at Texas or when he was at Ohio State.
Oh, he went to Ohio State, yeah.
Yeah.
Punch Kirk Herbstreit.
All right. So my punch tonight, you know what? I want to punch, and I'm not, normally you're supposed to punch a person. I'm going to punch dementia tonight. A guy that I've met once, a guy who's a very good friend of mine, the great Tommy Kramer, who's longtime good buddies with the great Charlie Parker, my former colleague over at WOAI Radio. Charlie and Tommy have had hundreds of poker nights where they all get together at each other's house. They have a group of guys over and they're notorious for these poker nights. Tommy Kramer out of Robert E. Lee High School in San Antonio, Texas, announced on Twitter last night that he has dementia. He's 69 years old, the great San Antonian. Tommy won state in 71 in a thrilling
Tommy
game over
Kramer?
Wichita Falls. Yeah, the great Tommy Kramer. 2-minute Tommy.
I
Yeah,
know.
he got it.
Oh,
They started calling him that when he was at Robert E. Lee.
I'm
And then at
2-minute
Wright,
Rudy.
I try to be 6-minute Mike. If I can go 4 days in between, I can go 6 minutes. In between, beers I'm trying to cut down. What do you think I was talking about? Anyway. So, no, Tommy has dementia. That sucks. He's second all-time in Vikings history in passing. I mean, Culpepper didn't pass for more than he did. Kirk Cousins didn't pass Tommy. Only
Not Randall
Fran
Cunningham.
Tarkenton.
Not even Randall Cunningham.
No, only Fran Tarkenton threw for more yards as a Viking than Tommy. And it sucks to hear that he's got dementia. So shout out to the family and friends of the great Tommy Kramer. He's not dead, but he's just, he's got dementia. He's
Dude, like we spend a lot of time talking about cancer, and cancer is awful. Cancer is awful. All of it's awful. I don't care what it is, but dementia is like a whole different thing. Only because, like with cancer, like I can come and visit you, Mike, and you're not in your right mind. You're withering away, but like, hey, that's Rudy J. Rudy J came to see me. Dementia, you just everything it's almost as hurtful for the people watching you go through it, because you're like, yo, mom or dad or auntie or Thea or uncle, it's me, and they have no idea who you are. It's awful. It's awful, awful disease, man.
Yeah, it's similar to
sucks.
Alzheimer's. Different symptoms, it's different, but similar in the effect it has. Nina lost her daddy to Alzheimer's. Yeah. It's just,
but they're
they don't
like,
even know you.
They're cousins, right? Dementia and Alzheimer's, they're pretty much cousins.
Well, I'm going to start speaking way out of church here, but yeah, it's similar, but not.
Or am I wrong?
Same.
I could be wrong. Okay.
No, you're not wrong. Not in the sense that a lot of days they don't know what's going on. It's just a few years ago. Because Tommy's played a lot of, Tommy's played in charity golf tournaments and stuff all over, and so he knows Tony Dorsett. And 3 years ago, Tommy went and spoke at a thing for guys that had early onset dementia, like Tony Dorsett has, and lamented it and talked about how much he feels so bad for Tony because they're such good friends. And now here, a few years later, now Tommy himself gets diagnosed with dementia. Matter of fact, Tommy, what I read was, Tommy hadn't been feeling right. And so he actually participated in a study that the NFL sponsored of old ball players. It was a health and wellness study. Come on in. They'll bring in all these veterans that played before, and they'll give you a nice head to toe checkup and stuff. And they'll have classes on, staying healthy and things like that. And that's when Tommy got diagnosed while he was at this camp or seminar or whatever it is. That's when he got diagnosed as having dementia. And so he's got signs of it, but it's not bad yet. But he figured he'd get out ahead of it and tweet about it because, a lot of times it's coming. It's weird because you mentioned how it sucks at the end because folks don't even know their loved ones. But with dementia and with Alzheimer's, you can get diagnosed with it before you have the major symptoms. And so you can, like, if I can tell you, like, hey, you have a dementia, so in the next 6 months to a year, you're going to start really changing. At least you have time to prepare for that, which is why Tommy decided, let me go ahead and tweet about this.
Well, you start writing stuff down, right?
In 6 months, I may not be able to tweet anymore. So it's scary in that it's coming. But then when it hits you, it's like I can't even imagine you're just trapped in a prison of just cobwebs. Ugh, it's just awful. So I didn't mean to get off on that. But can you imagine that? You go from knowing everything and being aware, knowing it's coming, and then it starts to come and you feel it coming, and then all of a sudden you cross the threshold where you're not even aware of it anymore. It's like you die and this other person takes you over that doesn't know you anymore. It's awful, tragic. And what a terrible way to end our show. I'm sorry.
No shit.
Sucks. So hang in there, Tommy, man. That guy brought a lot of glory to a lot of old football fans back in the day around these parts. All right, man. I gotta get some sleep tonight. I got a 5:45 wake-up call. Thank you to Orlando Kell. He brings his people I want to punch every night. The law office of 210-775-4995. The official family lawyer of In the Building is okay. Orlando Kell. Hit him up on an email, too. You can email him directly. It's orlandokell.law@gmail.com. orlandokell.law@gmail.com. All right, that's it. LG and Rudy and me, we got to go get our other side hustles on tomorrow night. Thank y'all, Thunderdome. I'm handing out tests and mainlining coffee all day until I can get home and get a nap. But tomorrow's Friday, and that's a good thing. We got no In the Building tomorrow night, but Rudy and I will have Texas, Mississippi State post-game show on Saturday after the Longhorns open up SEC play with Mississippi State. We made money. More for another couple of bucks, $4.99.
That's the guy I met. That's the guy I met tonight.
Nice. F dementia and F cancer. I hope Diddy gets a hold of you. Oh my. Not I hope Diddy gets it. I hope Diddy gets a hold of dementia.
Oh, gotcha.
That's how horrible Diddy is. We're hoping dementia catches Diddy.
Yeah. Steven, much
That's
love,
dark.
my brother.
Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you.
All right, Rudy and I will have Longhorn post-game show Saturday. In the Building will be back on Sunday night. Love y'all hard. We'll talk to y'all Saturday on Love You Hard TV after the Longhorns play Mississippi State. Dak's alma mater. Speedy deep, beep, beep, beep. I think Eric knows Steve. This town, you never know. Night, Hector. Speedy deep. Da-da-da-da-da.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.